The Nightly Business Report.
Good evening. Tonight, following the allegations of Arias reaching around 14.5 billion rupees, the Ministry of Urban Development and Housing has directed the National Water Supply and Drainage Board to promptly put in place a system for collecting unpaid water bills. According to figures from the Sri Lanka Tea Board, the country's tea sales in January of this year increased marginally in rupee terms, but slightly decreased in dollar terms. The ASPI continued its negative trend as the market suffered a drop on the second trading day of the week. This fall was reflected in the S&P SL20 as well, indicating a bearish mood in the market. And Nvidia and other AI-related firms helped US markets close higher, while investors await Fed Chair Jerome Powell's bi-monthly monetary policy announcement in the days ahead.
From Studio 24, here's Anuradhi Vikramasinghe.
A very good evening and thank you for joining us. The Ministry of Urban Development and Housing has instructed the National Water Supply and Drainage Board to quickly implement a system for collecting outstanding water bill payments, following reports of arrears totaling nearly 14.5 billion rupees.
The Ministry of Urban Development and Housing has directed the National Water Supply and Drainage Board to establish a mechanism for collecting outstanding water bill arrears which have reached nearly 14.5 billion rupees. Deputy Minister of Urban Development and Housing T.B. Sarath confirmed that the ministry has instructed the NWSDB to devise an effective collection system. He also mentioned that further actions would be taken based on the proposals from the NWSDB. Minister Sarath emphasized that the ministry is investigating the reasons behind consumers' inability to pay their bills and a fair solution will be sought for all parties involved. A spokesperson from the NWSDB revealed that consumers have already been notified about the need to settle their outstanding payments. The spokesperson also mentioned that water supply has been disconnected for many defaulters. Despite several attempts, the chairperson and general manager of NWSDB could not be reached for comment.
Zhu Yanwei, the Deputy Chief of Mission at the Chinese Embassy, reiterated China's strong relationship with Sri Lanka, emphasizing shared goals of prosperity. He highlighted China's significant assistance to Sri Lanka, including 40 million rupees in cash and 400 million rupees in material aid following the country's recent economic challenges. Zhu expressed China's continued commitment to supporting Sri Lanka's development, particularly in its efforts towards digitization and growth. He reassured that China would stand by Sri Lanka as it navigates its path to a more prosperous future. The Deputy Chief of Mission also underscored the importance of bilateral cooperation between the two nations. Zhu's statements reflect the enduring partnership and mutual aspirations for advancement. Sri Lanka's national tea sales saw a slight increase in rupee terms for January of this year, although the value in dollars experienced a marginal decline, according to data from the Sri Lanka Tea Board.
Sri Lanka's national tea sales for January 2025 showed a slight increase in rupee terms, with the monthly average standing at 1,185 rupees and 43 cents per kilogram. This marks a 0.61 rupees rise from December 2024, though a marginal decline of $0.05 was observed due to the currency fluctuations. High-grown teas saw notable year-on-year growth, with average prices rising 1,105 rupees and 66 cents, up by 15 rupees and 43 cents and $0.34 from January last year. Medium-grown teas had mixed results, with prices declining by 48 rupees and 24 cents to 1,038 rupees and 5 cents, though the dollar value increased by $0.13 to $3.53. Low-grown teas, which represent the majority of Sri Lanka's tea exports, experienced a drop in both rupee and dollar terms. These teas fell by 136 rupees and 39 cents to 1,255 rupees and 60 cents, and by $0.09 compared to the previous year. The mixed performance across different tea grades reflects both positive and negative trends within the industry.
Minister of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development Vasantha Samarasinghe, along with the Food Policy and Security Committee, met yesterday to discuss the importance of a strong data system for food security policies. The meeting focused on ensuring a stable food supply for the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year, as well as addressing price controls and paddy purchasing processes. Expanding the cooperative and Satosa networks was also a key topic of discussion. Plans for developing a national food food security policy and boosting local production through scientific strategies were emphasized during the meeting. Officials highlighted the critical role of data-driven decision-making in strengthening food security and maintaining market stability. The committee aims to ensure that the country's food security framework is both sustainable and responsive to current challenges. Let's take a short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. The market saw a decline on the second trading day of the week, with the ASPI continuing its downward trend. The S&P SL20 also mirrored this decline, reflecting a negative market sentiment. For further insights on this, we speak with Aknathin Nakun from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Anuradhi. So today the Colombo Stock Exchange saw its performance plummet further for the second consecutive day. The ASPI dipped consistently across the morning hours of today's session. Though there were some signs of modest recovery by midday, the ASPI still remained well below yesterday's closing figure. So the ASPI fell by around 221 points and ended the day in red at 16,345. The numbers of negative contributors registered a rise compared to yesterday, and the entities that exerted the most negative pressure on the ASPI emerged from within the banking sector. So in this regard, HDB, Sampath Bank, DFCC, Melster Corp and Commercial Bank were the top negative contributors. Ceylon Tobacco Company, Richard Peries and Company and Cooperative Insurance Company were the top three positive contributors. So in terms of turnover, an uptick was evident in today's session compared to yesterday's figure of 2.1 billion rupees. Today's turnover stood at 2.4 billion rupees. However, this was still lower than the monthly average of about 5.9 billion rupees. In terms of contribution to turnover, the banking sector took the lead with a contribution of about 29%. This was followed by capital goods and food, beverage and tobacco segments, which produced a joint contribution of about 26%. Thank you.
The recent Treasury bond auction saw strong demand across all maturities, with significant amount offered and bids received. The weighted average yield rates for the bonds were slightly lower compared to the previous auction. The results highlight continued investor interest and a stable market environment. For further insights, we speak with Anjali Matthews from First Capital Holdings.
In today's Treasury bill auction, the weighted average yield recorded declines across the board, where the Central Bank of Sri Lanka fully accepted the total offered amount of Rs 157 billion, and both the 3-month and the 6-month bills were oversubscribed, while the 12-month bill was undersubscribed. So the weighted average yield for the 3-month bill stood at 7.69%, recording a drop of 10 basis points compared to the previous auction. And similarly, the 3-month bill yielded an acceptance of Rs 44.1 billion compared to Rs 27.5 billion offered. The yield for the 6-month bill stood at 7.94%, recording a decline of 6 basis points and yielding an acceptance of Rs 83.4 billion compared to the offered amount of Rs 55 billion. On the other hand, the 12-month bill was undersubscribed, standing at 8.42%, recording only a 1 basis point decline from the previous auction and yielding an acceptance of Rs 30 billion compared to the Rs 75 billion that was offered. Overall, the total bids exceeded the amount offered by 2.3 times. And additionally, during the previous trading session ahead of today's T-bill auction and Thursday's bond auction, the secondary market yield curve saw limited activity and thin volumes across the board.
Gold prices surged to a record high today, driven by safe haven demand following new tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump on steel and aluminum imports. Spot gold rose by 0.3%, reaching $2,916.37 per ounce after briefly hitting a lifetime high of $2,942.70. Meanwhile, U.S. gold futures also gained 0.3%, rising to $2,941.50. The move raised concerns about further inflation and heightened the risk of a global trade war. The surge in gold prices reflects growing investor anxiety over the potential economic consequences of the tariffs. Analysts predict that continued trade tensions could push gold prices even higher as investors seek safe investments. Oil prices continued to rise today, fueled by concerns over potential disruptions to Russian and Iranian oil supplies amid ongoing sanctions threats. Brent crude futures gained 0.72%, reaching $76.42 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude rose 0.69% to $72.82. Both contracts had already posted nearly 2% gains in the previous session after 3 consecutive weeks of losses. Analysts highlighted that Russian oil production fell short of its OPEC Plus quota in January, easing oversupply concerns. Russian output dropped to 8.962 million barrels per day, 16,000 BPD below approved levels. Additionally, U.S. sanctions on Russian oil shipments to China and India, along with renewed pressure on Iranian oil exports, have furthered fuel supply worries. The Sri Lankan rupee strengthened against the US dollar today, showing improvement compared to yesterday. According to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the buying rate of the US dollar has fallen while the selling rate has also experienced a slight decrease. Let's now take a closer look at how the Sri Lankan rupee is faring against other major global currencies. A short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back. Jetwing Symphony PLC reported strong financial results for December 2024, driven by increased tourist arrivals, boosting the resort and hotel sectors. Jetwing Symphony, which operates 7 hotels across Sri Lanka, reported a revenue of 991.70 million rupees for the fiscal third quarter ending December 2024, marking a 12% increase compared to the same period in 2023. The company's portfolio includes properties in Vellawaya, Kandy, Dambulla, Puthuwil, 2 in Yala and a city hotel in Colombo, with Jetwing Yala being the top performer. The total number of tourist arrivals in 2024 reached 2,053,465, a 38.1% increase from 2023, although still below the peak of 2.33 million arrivals in 2018. The company effectively managed costs, with direct costs and administrative expenses rising by only 2%. Marketing and promotional expenses increased by 13% to 24.12 million rupees. Operating profit surged 36% to 347.07 million rupees for the quarter. The company posted earnings of 142.78 million rupees or 24 cents per share, reversing a loss in the same period of 2023. HNB Finance has announced a strategic partnership with Kaya AI to implement a cutting-edge digital core banking system. This upgrade aims to enhance operations, improve customer experience and drive digital transformation across all touchpoints. Kaya AI's secure cloud-native platform is highly scalable, enabling HNB Finance to create new products without the need for extensive coding. The solution consolidates all branches onto a single platform, streamlining operations and improving service delivery. It also integrates AI, ML and bots to provide personalized services and tailored offerings for different customer segments. The upgrade will boost efficiency, automation and security, ensuring regulatory compliance and data integrity. 5 prominent Sri Lankan companies are presenting their latest products and innovations at ASPI 2025 in Frankfurt, Germany, joining 3,694 exhibitors from 81 countries. The expo provides a platform for showcasing creativity and attracting international buyers from various sectors. 5 leading Sri Lankan companies are showcasing their products at ASPI 2025 in Frankfurt, Germany, emphasizing the country's growing influence in the global consumer goods market. These companies, Art Decoration International, Candle House Salon, Javana Graphics, Selin Exporters and Dankotua Porcelain are displaying their offerings in halls dedicated to living and giving and dining. This exhibition provides an invaluable opportunity for Sri Lankan companies to connect with international buyers and explore new business opportunities. It also serves as a key platform to highlight Sri Lanka's design, craftsmanship and innovation in consumer goods. Director of Selin Exporters Limited shared that ASPI remains an essential event for connecting with new buyers and prospects. Art Decoration International's import and export manager noted strong interest from global buyers, especially from Europe and America. The participation of these companies further reinforces Sri Lanka's reputation for producing high-quality, unique products. Digital Health, a subsidiary of Dialog Axiata plc, has launched Pharma Connect, a next-generation pharmacy management system aimed at transforming pharmacy operations across Sri Lanka. The platform is designed to streamline operations, improve efficiency and enhance customer service, empowering pharmacies to meet modern healthcare demands. Pharma Connect features over 20 advanced modules addressing challenges like inventory management, prescription processing and customer engagement through SMS alerts and stock updates. This solution is tailored to optimize pharmacy operations, fostering growth and competitiveness within the sector. With the introduction of Pharma Connect, Dialog continues to lead in healthcare innovation and reaffirms its commitment to enhancing Sri Lanka's healthcare ecosystem. The platform aims to help pharmacies deliver better care and services, contributing to the overall advancement of the country's healthcare sector. Mega Life Sciences in Sri Lanka marks nearly 25 years of success, offering popular wellness products like Levelin Forte, Calcivita Forte, Enat 400 and the skincare tablet Glow.
Mega Life Sciences, operating in 33 countries worldwide, offers products that play a vital role in the various health categories including women's health, bone and joint health, cardiovascular care, diabetes and skin and liver health. Mr. Paramjit Singh Savne, President International for Mega Life Sciences, recently visited Sri Lanka to meet with the company's close associates. He oversees more than 90% of the mega markets covering half the globe. Founded in 1983, Mega Life Sciences now employs over 6,000 dedicated individuals committed to improving global health. The company's wellness center in Bangkok, with its recent extension in Sri Lanka, advocates simple lifestyle changes and a plant-based whole food diet to prevent and reverse disease. This scientifically proven approach emphasizes the reduction of inflammatory markers linked to chronic ailments caused by animal foods and unhealthy lifestyles. At WWC, Mega promotes mindfulness, movement and a plant-based diet as key pillars of better health.
Sri Lankan Airlines celebrated One World's 25th anniversary by hosting the One Day, One Team, One World 25 Roadshow at the Bandaranaike International Airport during its global journey. Since joining the One World Alliance in 2014, Sri Lankan Airlines has enhanced its passengers' travel experience with a broader global reach and smoother connections to over 1,000 destinations. The roadshow aimed to reconnect staff with the Alliance's vision, providing them with valuable knowledge to improve their careers and elevate their work. It also highlighted the exclusive benefits available to passengers and staff of member airlines. As oneworld continues to expand, Sri Lankan Airlines is excited to contribute to the alliance's future and deliver exceptional experiences to travellers. Let's take a short commercial break. Global business updates coming on the other side. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Most Asian stocks declined today as renewed U.S. tariffs under President Donald Trump sparked a risk-off sentiment, with a holiday in Japan leading to subdued trading volumes. U.S. stock index futures were also lower during Asian hours today. Investors are cautiously awaiting U.S. consumer price inflation data on Wednesday to gauge the Federal Reserve's rate outlook. China's Shanghai Composite Index dropped 0.5%, while the Shanghai Shenzhen CSI 300 Index fell 0.7%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index also saw a 0.7% decline after several consecutive sessions of gains fueled by optimism in tech stocks. In contrast, South Korea's KOSPI bucked a regional trend, rising 0.5%. U.S. stocks closed higher, lifted by Nvidia and other AI-related stocks, whereas investors look to Fed Chair Jerome Powell's biannual monetary policy report in the coming days.
U.S. stocks closed higher on Monday, with the Dow gaining almost 0.4%, the S&P 500 adding nearly 0.7%, and the Nasdaq climbing almost 1%. Metal companies flexed some muscle, with shares of U.S. Steel, Cleveland-Cliffs, and Alcoa all gaining after President Trump announced additional 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. AI-related stocks gained, including chipmakers Nvidia and Broadcom, helping to lift Wall Street's main indexes. Shares of Tesla closed down 3% after the Wall Street Journal reported that a consortium of investors led by Tesla CEO Elon Musk is offering $97.4 billion to buy the nonprofit that controls artificial intelligence startup OpenAI. Other movers included McDonald's, which jumped 4.8% after the hamburger chain posted a surprise rise in its global comparable sales in the fourth quarter. And shares of Rockwell Automation surged 12.6% after the automation products maker posted higher than expected profit for the fiscal first quarter. Investors now look to Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's biannual monetary policy report, delivered to the Senate Budget Committee on Tuesday and the House Financial Services Committee on Wednesday.
McDonald's global comparable sales posted a surprise rise in the fourth quarter, while the company saw a steeper than expected drop in quarterly U.S. comparable sales.
McDonald's posted its biggest US sales decline in nearly 5 years on Monday. Demand took a hit from a brief E. coli outbreak, while diners also proved cautious spenders. Comparable sales in the US fell 1.4% in the fourth quarter. That was the largest drop since the pandemic and well below analyst expectations. The E. coli outbreak started on October 22nd. It forced McDonald's to temporarily suspend sales of its quarter-pounder hamburgers in a fifth of its 14,000 US restaurants. Hundreds were made sick and at least one died. US regulators ended their investigation into the incident in early December. McDonald's ramped up its limited-time offers and meal deals throughout last year as it tried to draw customers who preferred meals at home. McDonald's said customer traffic picked up slightly in the quarter from last year. But it said the rise was offset by a smaller average amount spent per customer per visit. Discounts now make up for more than a third of sales. Analysts have warned the company's over-reliance on cut-price deals could pressure future franchise margins. Sales in international markets rose 0.1%. It was hit by weakness in Britain. McDonald's posted a 5% drop in net income to $2.04 billion on an adjusted basis, below estimates.
Well, that's all from us here on the Nightly Business Report for today. We'll see you again Thursday with the latest updates across the business globe. Until then, I'm Anuradhi Vikramasinghe. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.